Good evening and welcome to v8sonline's live and exclusive coverage of the Prototype and GT Challenge, brought to you by Rustmaster and TrakRacer. It's a live exclusive to v8sonline, brand new series for this season, the Sunday night Prototype GT. Meant to have Daniel Bryan in the commentary box with me, but he's a bit under the weather today, and stepping into issues, we've got Madison down. How are you, Mad?
Yeah, good, Brooksy. Always great to jump back into the commentary box. Haven't done it for a while, so hopefully I'm not too rusty.
Yeah, I heard they pulled you out of the car to get in the commentary box. So have you done any
Yeah.
laps around here, or?
Oh, I did a few earlier in the week. I was considering racing the series, as I was saying to you guys before we were on air. But yeah, great series. I think it's shaping up to be quite an exciting series throughout this iRacing season. So hopefully it's a good race tonight to kick it off.
Yeah, definitely. Mixed class fields, similar to what we had the Grand Am last series on a Thursday night. Got a good mix of drivers joining this too for the broadcasted race. Very good quality drivers, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I've obviously teammates with Josh Muggleton, and he's running in the Ford GT tonight, and he was really looking forward to running in this series. I think it's going to fit his time a little bit better than the V8s. He's going to struggle to make the V8 series, so this might be a little bit better fit for him. But yeah, it's certainly been a well-accepted series by the community. There's big entries tonight too. Lots and lots of drivers competing.
As we'll bring the race preview up, we're at Sebring in the USA. Altitude of 18 metres, not very high. Pit lane speed limit of 72 kilometres an hour, which I don't think we'll be needing tonight. Track length is 5.7 kilometres with 17 turns. It's an old World War II Air Force base, been converted into a racetrack. Never ever been resurfaced, so as you can imagine, it's pretty bumpy out there. Just getting the starting grid for the prototypes up, and we got Andre Martins off pole with Anthony Koenig second, Paulo Martins in third, Reese Gardner's our pit lane reporter on the V8s Monday night, he's out of fourth, Dean O'Brien from Multi 21 Racing in fifth, Christian Arwood in sixth, Paul Agnew in seventh, Gavin Barber eighth. I'm going to struggle with this one. Kaiosoglu Nestras in ninth, and Massimo Tigler in 10th. We got the Corvettes, otherwise known as the GT1s. Tony Autridge, your teammate Madison, off pole position for those guys. Thomas Nancer in second, Charles Nigg in third, Wayne Burke in fourth, Jason Scully in fifth, Des Hallam in sixth, Timmy Foltz in seventh, and Bruce, another hard one, Dec Carvalho in eighth.
Yeah, and for GT2, which is the Ford GT class, Fabio Gonzalez on pole position there. Josh Muggleton, we talked about him joining this series as well. He's second. Randolph Chenoweth third. Andrew Wren fourth. Nathan Britton fifth. Dave Geimer sixth. And Matt Emanuel rounding out the field there in seventh. So it looks like a good race there, and a few surprising times in qualifying, I suppose. A lot of guys we haven't seen before at the pointy end of the field.
Yeah, it's a good new series, always throws up some new drivers. There's probably guys who've been racing this for years, and no one's ever really seen or heard of them, so it's good to get their name out there a little bit.
For sure, yeah. This being a bit of a European-based racing series, you're seeing a lot of names. You can see us struggling with the names in the grid there. You can see there's a lot of international drivers joining us, so it's great to see.
Might have to develop some nicknames for them. Obviously, Christian Arwood's driving around in the protos out there. He's put in a lot of work just recently to give us the overlays for this series. Gives us the overlays for all the series we broadcast. So a big shout out to Christian. One of the people with all the work that goes on behind the scenes to make this all possible for you guys. going to be a rolling start. We're going to have a full lap behind the pace car, and it will be the prototypes in the front, and the Corvettes, and then the 4 GTs.
Yeah, a little bit of a different starting procedure to the V8s, but obviously not too uncommon now with the trucks also being broadcast. You probably see the guys space themselves out between classes as well on the race start, try and avoid any carnage between the different categories.
Have you got an early favourite? I know Anthony Koenig has been putting in quite a few laps. Yeah, have you got an early favourite, Matt?
Yeah, it's hard to go past Koenig. He's quite quick in the prototype, but I don't know too much about Andre Martins there starting off pole position. It's quite a quick qualifying time, so that's a good effort. Obviously for GT1, Tony Autridge being my teammate, I'd have to go with him, and same deal with GT2 with Muggo. I'd like to see Muggo get a win as well. What about you, Brooksy? Who's your picks?
Oh, well, I'm just going to go Christian Arwood then, my teammate. Like you said, Andre Martins is a blistering time. What is it, nearly 4 tenths quicker than Anthony Koenig. So that's, I'd say he'd be an outright favourite. It's only a 10th minute between Tony Autridge and Thomas Nanser for the GT1 cars, so yeah, it's going to be a hard one to call there, but mixed racing, it's can obviously give you mixed results with lap traffic and accidents.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen plenty of that in the past. It's not quite as simple as it seems with this, you know, with all the lapped cars that you're going to get over the course of a 45-minute race. So it's interesting to see how it all pans out. But I think it's going to be quite a close race in the 2 GT classes. I know Fabio Gonzalez there, 4 tenths faster than Josh Muggleton in qualifying. So that's quite a margin quicker over Muggo. We know Muggo is a good steerer, but you know, as we've said before, we don't know too much about Fabio Gonzalez from the past. So but, you know, that's a brilliant qualifying time, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, nothing against Fabio. He's done quite a bit of the Thursday night Grand Am, and his qualifying pace always seemed a little bit better than his race pace. So obviously, Muggo being a V8 champion, concentration's not a problem for him. So I'd say it could be a pretty close race between those guys. We got a nice spread of cars in the field. We've got 10 prototypes, 8 GTs, and another 6 or 7 GT2 cars. So it's not a bad spread. 25 cars all up. The pace car's just coming around to the back straight area now. Obviously the prototype's got quite a bit of downforce. I think that's where a lot of time is gained and lost with this car. If you go for that high downforce, obviously better through the corners, but you can take a lot of downforce out of it to give you the straight line speed, obviously, which would help with this long back straight that the cars are on now.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting to see which way it goes. Straight line speed's pretty key at Sebring, but also, you know, a lot of slow corners as well. We need the downforce. As we round the final corner, come to the green flag. Waiting for the green, and they're away.
Green flag.
Andre Martin's got a good jump there over, who's that behind? Reece Gardner, Dean O'Brien.
Yeah, that's a good lead into turn 1 for Andre Martins. Tony Autridge leads the GT field as well.
So that's a big gap from Jason Scully back to Tim Colts.
Josh Muggleton's managed to get the jump over Fabio Gonzalez, and he's got quite a massive lead exiting turn 1 for the first time.
That's a very good jump by Muggo. You'd be happy with that.
Very close up the front of the field between the prototypes though. starting to spread out at the front, but back in the field a little bit there. They're still too wide. Gavin Barber and Paul Agnew. Agnew puts a move on. Gets it done.
Yeah, nicely done on the inside. We've got Tim Foltz all over the back of Bruce. I'm just going to call him Bruce.
Got Charles just behind Tim as well. He's starting to look a bit hungry there for that position.
Tony Ortridge is under a huge amount of pressure from Thomas and Wayne Burke. Been pretty impressive, these multi-21 races of Dean O'Brien and Wayne Burke. They've really come on strong in the last couple of seasons.
Got Reece Gardner just up the road ahead of those guys with a fair bit of damage to his car. He's lost his front spoiler, damage to the diffuser and rear wing as well, so I'm not quite sure what's happened to him. He's obviously had a bit of a run in somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's just before he's come back onto the back straight.
Yeah, he's been collected by Dean O'Brien. So Dean O'Brien's got a lot of damage to his prototype as well. He's lost the front splitter.
That's the commentator's curse I just mentioned, Dean O'Brien.
Yeah, run away after this one, Brooksy. Don't let him find you in the paddock.
Yeah. As Dean and Reese have both gone to the pits to get that damage repaired. Looks like Charles has gone to the pits as well, so may have suffered some damage.
Yeah, not quite sure where that happened. It looked like he was all okay in the early laps, so I'm not too sure what's happened there.
We got Bruce. He's getting swamped by the GT2 cars at the moment.
This is all helping Josh Muggleton build a lead early on too. With these guys racing the GT1 Corvette of Bruce, this is... Yeah, Muggo wants to see this. He's got a massive lead now.
Yeah, it really put Randolph sort of off his rhythm there. And yeah, Muggo's jumped out a few more attempts. I've been keeping an eye on Des Hallam, fellow commentator, and he's made his way to the pit, so he's suffered some misfortune somewhere along the line.
Out the front of the field, and Andre Martins continues to lead, and he's got a 2.6 second gap over Paulo Martins in second, and Anthony Kernich running third, so possibly not quite as quick as you're expecting from Kernich early on, but there's a long way to go here. Only about 5 minutes into the race, if that.
Yeah, Anthony Kernich obviously was going for his Pro Oval licence with a week 13 break, and he's missed out on it, so might be turning his attention more to some road racing.
Fabio Gonzalez and Andrew Wren in GT2 class fighting for the final podium position. Fabio Gonzalez was the pole sitter in GT2 class. He dropped the position there off the start and dropped another one back to third, but he's doing a good job running some consistent laps. As they all work to try and reel in Josh Muggleton, who's definitely pulled out a big margin. What's he out to now? About 3 second margin over the field.
Yeah, he's definitely pulling out a good lead there.
Tony Ortridge doing the same in GT1 class. He's opened a little bit of margin, opened around about 2 seconds over Thomas Nanzer in second. So 2 TTR cars doing well in GT class, Brooksy.
Yeah, no, they are. Doing real well.
No bias at all from me there, but...
Nah, that's alright. Christian Arwood, on the other hand, is coming fourth, so that's good. We might jump on board and take it for a lap around Sebring on board with Christian Arwood. There's a one flying lap of Sebring on board with Christian Arwood. The Proto cars are really spread out. No one really hassling each other in that field.
And quite a clean lap from Christian there. A little mistake, I heard you, Brooksy, make a little comment on that one. Basically come into the hairpin there. It's easy to pinch a tyre into that corner, and especially at low speed. Obviously high downforce cars, but at low speed the wings don't do too much.
No, that's right, and you don't want to go wrecking these tyres. You've got a 45-minute race, no pit stops, so yeah, if you burn them up too quick at the start, you've got to look at it.
And certainly, it's actually quite spread out throughout the field as well. GT1 class, there's a lot of margin between all the cars, and looking back through GT2 class, it's very much the same story. So these guys have got themselves in, you know, quite a sorted order. It almost looks like qualifying.
Yeah, there's no real battles on track at the moment to speak of. Fabio Gonzalez has moved up to second in the GT1, the GT2 cars, behind your teammate Josh Muggleton. Something's obviously happened to Randolph.
Not too sure what's happened there. We missed that one, but either way, Gonzalez there up to P2 in GT2 class, and on the previous lap, 0.8 of a second faster than Josh Muggleton.
Yeah, well, he's certainly making a charge.
Yeah, it's massively faster. That'll be worrying to Muggo. When you see car behind you pull nearly a second back in one lap, that's a massive, massive amount of time.
As we got the leader of the race, he's starting to lap cars already, so this could spice things up a little.
Yeah, certainly will. It's all about who can find their way through the traffic the quickest and obviously not get involved in any carnage. It's real art to lap cars efficiently, and I'm sure Andre Martins has quite a bit of experience in it. He looks pretty comfortable in the car so far. He's doing a brilliant job out front.
Yeah, it's the GT2 cars. The speed difference between these HBDs is massive. It's, as you see, move up the inside, and Randolph was aware of that one, but that's what they have to do. They have to make sure they're aware of the cars approaching quite a rate of knots from behind.
Oh, you always hold your breath as they pass through these tight corners. You just hope the GT cars have seen the quicker prototypes, and in that case they had. That was all fine, but a little bit scary to watch.
Yeah, from here on in, the GT2 cars, they're going to have to watch the mirrors as much as they'll watch the windscreen, because they're going to have cars coming up constantly now.
Yeah, it's hard too. You look at the GT2 cars on screen at the moment, and they're actually in a battle themselves, so it's hard for them because they have to try and not lose a position while letting these prototypes pass, basically.
The Randolph's moved out. He's going to go down the inside into the last corner. Got past Dave.
Anthony Kernich weaving his way through the traffic as well as Randolph gets extremely sideways there on power.
I got Bruce just made got past Muggo. Well, hearing reports, Wayne Burke has gone into the fence.
Yeah, he has. He's done it all by himself too, by the looks of it.
Bring up the race recall replay.
Just looks like he's picked up the throttle just a little bit too soon exiting the corner, and with all the talk of that big Chev engine under the bonnet, it's put him straight into the wall, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the position he's got himself into is a bit of a precarious one. He's had to find reverse.
Oh, he's just looking back live. He's actually had another moment. I'd say he's got damage out of that. He's massive moment as soon as he put his foot on the brake pedal there, and he's gone for a bit of a surf through the grass.
Yeah, he's turned that into the world's most expensive lawnmower.
Yeah.
He's going to try and get it back to the pits and see if he can get it fixed.
Yeah, he's got really bad damage to the front right of that car, so obviously it's taken its toll as it's hit the guardrail and definitely affected the handling. Unfortunate for Wayne C. Burke. He's been quite quick recently in everything he's driven, so disappointing for him.
That's both the Multi-21 races I've mentioned had dramas, so sorry guys, I won't mention you guys again.
Yeah, but Thomas Nanza GT1 class is doing everything right at the moment. He's pulled back 0.4 of a second on Tony Autridge, who's leading that class. So last reports from both the TTR cars is that they're losing time in race trim to the guys in second.
Yeah, it was got nearly 4 to 5 tenths of a second that last lap around. Thomas Nance's catching.
Well, things have stabilised between Josh Muggleton and Fabio Gonzalez. Josh Muggleton looks like he's actually found a little bit of pace, but it could just be the lapped cars. There's prototypes rounding those guys up left, right and centre now. So that also has a massive factor on lap speed. Having look up the front of the field, it looks like Andre Martins is still leading the race comfortably over Paulo Martins. He's got a 3.9 second lead. Cleared all the GT2 traffic without any dramas by the looks of it.
Yeah, all the prototype cars seem to be just holding station. No one seems to be really catching or losing time to the guys in front or behind. So
yeah, and they're the most difficult cars to race in. You know, when you're following another car in a prototype, the aero push, as we call it, is absolutely shocking. You've just got no turn in the front of the car, and it's really unresponsive. So that could be a contributing factor to why there's not too many battles being seen in those particular cars.
I was just watching Josh Muggleton there. He got way loose coming out on the little straight.
Yeah, he's certainly pushing. We've got some prototype go there.
Yeah,
the braking performance and downforce of those HPDs, it's a little bit scary looking at the closing speed over the Ford GTs and the Corvettes.
Yeah, it was a good example of it there, how quickly Paul caught Muggleton.
Yeah, you can be looking in the mirrors down the straight in the Ford GTs and not even see a prototype in the horizon, but by the time you get to the corner, you know, next minute there's one up your inside. There's just nothing you can do if you haven't seen him and already turning in.
Good, Jason Scully's doing a good job. He's third in class at the moment in the GT1s. Got a big margin back to Tim Foltz. It's a good looking car Jason Scully's got there, Red Bull Corvette.
There's a few really nice liveries in the field. And yeah, that's certainly one of them. The Corvette's a great looking car to begin with anyway, but that's a fantastic livery on that car. It's good to see a Red Bull car not dominating for once, actually.
We might jump on board and give you a lap of Sebring with Tony Autridge. There you have a lap of Sebring from Tony Autridge's perspective, and I'm telling you now, Thomas Nanza is doing an awesome job behind. He's still catching. You can lap before that one, it was nearly a full second.
Yeah, and I was going to say, when we're on board for Tony Autridge there, he actually pulled 0.6 of a second out over his previous lap and still wasn't good enough to open the margin to Thomas Nanza. So Tony Autridge is trying to respond to the pace of Nanza, but Thomas Nanza still reeling him in, doing a great job.
With 26 minutes to go in this race still, there's plenty of time for Thomas to get up there and put some pressure on.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's brought the margin down to around about 1.5 seconds now between those two cars. Anthony Kernich is reeling in Paulo Martins in the HPD class, continually lapping a few tenths a lap quicker than Paulo Martins is Kernich, so could have a fight on our hands there as well for second and third.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on that. Anthony's just put down his best lap for the race, just the last lap around, so he's definitely put the foot down to try and close that gap.
Should mention Andre Martin's out in front, doing a great job still. Fastest HPD on track.
Yeah, he's just done his fastest lap too, so he certainly hasn't eased off yet.
As the fuel comes off these cars, they get faster and faster and faster. The tyre quality doesn't make so much of a difference because of the high aerodynamics, that these cars have. So not too much of a drama, and you'll see these guys at the end of the race really hauling the mail as the fuel load, lightens.
I'm not sure if Randolph's had a bit of a moment somewhere, but Nathan Britton's really closed up behind him now. Well, Randolph's just got past Nathan.
And Thomas Nanza in GT1 class has just lost a massive chunk of time to Tony Autridge, so there could have been traffic involved in that lap.
Yeah, he was a full 2 seconds slower that lap, Thomas Nanza. That's obviously something's happened around the circuit for him to lose those couple of seconds. We check in on current V8 champion Josh Muggleton. He's still holding station first in class.
Very competitive lap times from Fabio Gonzalez, so he was actually 1/10 quicker than Muggo on the previous lap, so certainly not letting him away.
Yeah, I touched on him at the start of the race. Fabio's race pace might not be quite as good as his qualifying, but he's made a liar out of me. He's doing an awesome job.
Yeah, he's a bit of an unknown. I haven't obviously been following too much of this other series, but it's amazing race pace from Gonzalez so far. He's been consistently faster than Muggo and slowly reeling him in. Drama is just not quite fast enough, and these lapped cars may be affecting that as well. Jump on board with Fabio for a lap. He did one of the fastest laps last time round, so have a look how the GT guys do it.
Well, those bumps really unsettled the car in that last corner.
Yeah, good lap there by Fabio, and it was a graphic illustration of how much quicker the Corvette is in the straight line, as well as Charles rounded him up on the back straight. Lost a little bit of time to Muggo, but almost an identical lap that time by between the two. Anthony Koenig has closed that margin right down to Paulo Martins for the second place in HPD class. May have been held up slightly by the Corvette at the last corner of Thomas Nanza, but either way, Koenig is applying the pressure. .48.2 for Koenig last time by, 48.4 for Paulo Martins, but none of that really matters now. It's a visual gap. Koenig is in the draft and he can see Paulo Martins.
Yeah, he'll be looking ahead with the lap traffic that come up on the Tony Autridge at the moment. Anthony will be looking...
Yeah. Lots of lap cars ahead. Tony Autridge, Nathan Britton, Randolph, all those got GT cars.
Paulo got very loose off the hairpin there.
Koenig filling the mirrors. This is going to get a little bit awkward through these S-bends.
It's Nathan Britton, Tony Autridge in front. I'm sure they're aware of the guys coming up behind.
Everyone just needs to be patient and hold their line, and hopefully we don't see any dramas.
Anthony Koenig just looking for any gap will do.
Should be able to round him up coming onto the back straight, but that Corvette has some serious grunt in a straight line, so you need to be a little bit careful of that. Tony Autridge will need to pull out to pass the 4GT as well. This is going to get very exciting coming into the last corner, guys.
This is Randolph. Randolph's getting absolutely swamped.
Oh, really deep on the brakes for Paulo Martins.
Paulo Martins has just opened a little bit of a gap there out of the final corner. Anthony wasn't able to get that lap traffic to work for him.
This is where it's going to get hard for Anthony Koenig now. He's in that aero push range that we spoke about. It's difficult to get too much closer than where he is without a mistake from Paulo Martins, but he'll be doing everything in his power to fill the mirrors of Martins' car.
Oh, I'm getting reports Josh Muggleton's gone off the track.
He has too, and he's actually lost the lead of GT2 class. That's big news.
Fabio's gotten through. Gonna try and have a look.
Try and grab a race recall replay for that one.
Yeah, just out of the hairpin. He's hasn't been able to
He's dropped the wheel on the grass actually under acceleration, and it's fired him straight off the road. That was scary for Muggo. That was actually nearly in the fence.
Yeah, he's done well not to hit the fence there, but unfortunately unfortunately for Muggo, Fabio's got through.
Not a bad save though, it's remarkable. It's all ahead of him for Muggo now though. He's got to try and close that margin. He shouldn't have got any damage. As Paulo Martins comes to lap, Muggo dives underneath him at the last corner. Koenig will be right on him into turn one now. He's got a bad exit on the main straight. He's going to defend. Oh, 2 wide into 1. Koenig goes the long way. Oh, that's a little bit hairy.
Under. He's got lap traffic.
Try and jump under Gonzalez. Gonzalez gives him space. Muggo as well. He's got Christian Aylward all over him. Has to give him space as well. So to catch the GT cars.
That was very aggressive defending from Paulo Martins still on the main straight.
Yeah, he needed to be. He got balked on the last corner a little bit by Muggo, and he knew he was under threat at the turn one, so he just moved the car across a little bit and defended. Great battle for second though in the prototype class. This is great to watch. And Tony Orchard has actually opened the margin right up in GT1 class again and pulled away from Thomas Nanza, so I'm not too sure what's happened to Nanza, whether the tyres have just gone away from him or he's been a bit unlucky with traffic, not too sure, but it's just fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, it's quite a big margin now between those two. Even the margin between Muggo and Fabio, it's quite large. I don't know if 16 minutes remaining, if Muggo's going to be able to close that gap.
Orchard just dived underneath Mug. It nearly hit him actually. That's really close between teammates. Don't want to see that, boys. Oh, that was a little bit spooky to watch. Look at the straight line speed of that Corvette. It is easily as fast as the prototypes in a straight line.
It actually looked like I might have even bought the prototype a little bit there.
Yeah, just the horsepower of that car. When I was driving that round here earlier in the week, pretty much any gear you're in, it can just burst into wheel spin at the hit of the throttle. It's an amazing car to drive. It's so much torque.
The gaps opened up for second and third in the prototypes. Paulo Martins gapped Anthony by a couple of seconds.
Yeah, he's responded to the pressure by Kernich and he's opened that margin up. 8/10 slower Kernich last time by, so not too sure. I don't think they had any traffic, so maybe just a little mistake from Kernich.
Christian Elwood's been running a smooth and consistent race. He's not too far behind Anthony Kernich, so if he can start his battle again with Paulo Martins, it could bring Christian into this.
Yeah, certainly. He's not too far away, as you said. If a mistake by those guys occurs, you'll be right on them. Fabio Gonzalez has also got Tony Orchard just behind him now, so
we're getting reports in there. Randolph
moment.
Yeah.
Race recall replay, and he's just turned it into the corner and across the bumps, the transition surface change, he's just lost the back. Remarkable save. Very, very easily could have put that into the guardrail there.
I would have if that was me, so he's done very well.
He didn't use the, I suppose, 2-foot magic save axe too much that we talk about a lot either. He's actually done it fairly legit and saved it from the fence. A great job by Randolph to hold on to that. Josh Muggleton trying to respond to Fabio Gonzalez. He's done a 2:02.7 last time by, which is a pretty hot lap, but that margin's quite big now.
Yeah, it was only 2 tenths quicker than Fabio, so got all the work in front of him, Muggo. Only about 13 minutes left in this race.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough time to close that margin, not without a mistake from Fabio Gonzalez.
But as we've seen often, mixed class racing, anything can happen.
Yeah, for sure, but Andre Martins, should make mention of him again. He's doing a fantastic job out front. 8.1 second lead overall in prototype class. No mistakes thus far from him, doing very consistent laps, so awesome drive by him. But as we said, about 12 minutes to go now.
Yeah, he's really showing the rest of the field how it's done, isn't he?
He's quickest in qualifying by 4 tenths, and he's been easily quickest all race. No mistakes thus far, but we all know with these high downforce cars, all it takes is half a wheel off the road and you're an absolute passenger and it's race over. So don't want to talk him up too much. And Paulo Martin's in second as well. Actually, open that margin right up.
Got Bruce. He's facing the wrong direction at the moment. He's hit the wall pretty hard. We go to the race recall replay. Yeah, he's just got the grass with the left-hand wheels and spun him across the track into the fence.
Yeah, he was letting a prototype through, and it's really, really easy just to run wide out into the marbles, and there's no grip out there. So basically, that's what's happening to him there. We spoke about how hard it is to lap people, but also to let people through as well. It's quite a difficult thing. Josh Muggleton is absolutely flying. 202.4 last time by. Quicker than Gonzalez, but I think Gonzalez had a little bit of traffic, but it's going to take something pretty special from Muggo here to get this win back.
I was going to say, you know, Muggo pretty good in Madison. He'd be obviously kicking himself with that mistake.
He'll be absolutely livid with himself for that mistake. He not a guy that tends to make mistakes very often, and considering he was leading the race and wasn't under immediate pressure, I know he'll be furious about that, and just did it all by himself. So he'll be really disappointed, and he'll be pushing on to get this win back. Hopefully he doesn't get too frustrated, but first time in the car, second's not too bad. So
certainly a good job nevertheless. Got Anthony Koenig. He's trying to close back up onto Paulo Martins. He's slowly pulling that gap back in. A couple of attempts the last lap around.
Yeah, and just in GT1 class as well, just have a quick look at that. And Tony Orchard's did a 55.9, Thomas Nanza 55.7, closed down 2/10. Again, I think the margin there might be a little bit too great between those two cars with only about 10 minutes remaining, but certainly a mistake from Orchard could bring Nanza back into it.
Got Randolph and Nathan Britton having a bit of a battle at the moment for 18th and 19th outright. He's lost a good 8 seconds the last lap, Randolph, so he's made a mistake somewhere. He's certainly got some good speed, but consistency seems to be letting him down a little bit.
Oh, Nathan Britton's nearly lost it. Massive save. Huge moment. Nearly lost it coming on to one of the back straights.
Yeah, he's grabbed a little bit of dirt on the right hand and kicked it into a massive slide. Done well to keep it on the black stuff.
Josh Muggleton's actually making bigger inroads than I thought. Pulled in a second last lap on Gonzalez. It's a massive chunk of time.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'm not sure if Fabio might have been held up with letting some prototypes through, but doesn't appear to be.
Yeah, and Muggo's been overtaken there by a prototype with relative ease, which is good for him in his quest to close that margin. He'll be hoping that Gonzalez has an awkward moment, I think, with the prototype. He'll be hoping that he catches him at turn 1, but it looks like the prototype's going to grab him on the main straight.
Yeah.
So Gonzalez responded with a 2.8, but Josh Muggleton 2:02.0, another 0.8 of a second.
Oh, the prototype in front's gone off. Where's he going to rejoin? Fabio's gotten past. And he's going to let Muggo through. It's well, good driving.
Yeah, good sportsmanship there.
Super quick time from Muggo.
Kernich has got around Paulo Martins. Not sure where that happens at the last corner. It is. So Paulo Martins has made a mistake at the last corner. We spoke about the bumps there. He's picked the throttle up. Recall replay will show it. Massive, massive slide through the mid corner.
Oh, yeah, he's carried it all that slide all the way onto the straight. Anthony Kernich, obviously with a heap more speed coming onto the straights, made it pretty easily past.
Kernich has actually lost the spot back. Just went back to live pictures, and Kernich is actually not sure what's happened there. Is he made some kind of... He's been balked at turn 1. So as he's rounded up, Randolph at turn 1, he got balked super badly, and Paulo Martins has got back round him.
Get the race recall replay of Anthony losing that second spot at turn 1.
Oh, that was remarkably close. How they didn't make contact. Massive, massive difference in speed between those two classes. Kernich will be kicking himself.
I commentated with Anthony in the trucks last season. Yeah, he won't be happy with that losing second spot. He's fought all race long to get that position.
Yeah, he's been working so hard. We've been speaking about him, the margin ebbing and flowing throughout the race. And oh, big dive down the inside. Got it done though. Andrew Wren saw it coming, left the door open for him. Interesting to see where they catch Jason Scully. That Corvette is a rocket ship in a straight line. They should get him before turn 1 with the mid-corner speed of the prototypes in the last corner. Jason Scully, I think, will... Oh, massive moment! Paulo Martins nearly in the fence on the main straight. That was close.
It was good presence of mind by Jason to get out of it and let these two race. He's not in any particular battle. He's running comfortably in third in the GT1 class.
Yeah, Jason Scully did everything right then. We always speak about holding your line, and he held his line. I think Paulo may have expected him to, let him up the inside, but Jason Scully did the right thing. Awesome reaction time from Martins to avoid contact though. Bit of a mistake there from Kernich, ran a little bit wide.
And both of these guys' lap times have dropped right off these last couple of laps since the battle, and we mentioned earlier it could bring Christian Elwood into it. The last couple of laps he's been a couple of seconds quicker.
That's a good point actually. Christian Elwood's been miles faster. He's almost on Andre Martin's pace, who's leading the race, so that's... Actually, he is on Andre Martin's pace leading the race, so Christian Elwood could come into this in the final minutes of the race. And Muggo up, Muggo left the door open for Kernich, good sportsmanship.
Looks like Muggo's carrying quite a bit of damage to the front of his Ford GT there.
He's done it at 210 last time around, so I'm not... Oh, Muggo, he's made on the previous lap, too far to go back for a replay, but onto the back straight, he's dropped the wheel off and nosed it into the fence, all by himself too.
Only 3 minutes remain and he'll probably just carry that damage now. Hopefully it's not too bad for him.
Hopefully he hasn't copped a mechanical black flag and he can get home, but yeah, that's huge damage to the front of that car. He'll be kicking himself for that mistake. There's 2 mistakes this race for Muggo. I know he'll be furious.
We check in on Tony Ortridge. Still leading the GT1 class.
Pretty much the same lap times between Ortridge and Nanza the last few laps. Quite even, gaps pretty much stayed the same. Say, without a mistake from Ortridge, that race is almost done for them. Actually, Kernich has nearly hit the back of Martin's at the hairpin. It was very, very close there.
We take our eyes off them and there's something happens. We'll bring up the race score replay for you.
He's trying to break deeper than the GT car. He did it easily, but he's actually overshot slightly in the draft and nearly nailed the back of Paulo Martins.
I don't know how he's missed the back of Paulo there.
Yeah, I think that was one of those panic brake situations where You can see the car in front of you coming up really quick, and you got to try and convince yourself to actually come off the brake and not lock a tyre. So he's done really well not to drill the back of the ahead of him. Good battle for second though. Fantastic battle. Damage doesn't seem to be affecting Josh Muggleton too much. I think he hit the wall square, so he probably lost a little bit of aero. He's doing around about the same lap times as Fabio Gonzalez, but the gap there's probably a little bit too big to close in the closing laps, but it does show that Muggo's car is still drivable.
We might get a white flag the next time. Only a minute left. We may have got the white flag. Andre Martins is sort of halfway through his lap at the moment.
Yeah, we'll see as he comes to a close at the end of the lap if this is the last lap. It would have been close at the start-finish line, so we're not quite sure, but driven a great race either way. He's led start to finish, and he's still punching out the fastest lap times by around about a second a lap. Amazing race pace from Andre Martins.
Yeah, it certainly has been definitely one to watch in this series. Obviously, Anthony Koenig should be hoping for another lap.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's all over the back of Paulo Martins again. He's closed that margin. So this will be the last lap for Andre Martins as he rounds the final corner. Driven a great race. He's on the main straight for the final time, and Andre Martins will take the win in prototype class at Sebring, round one of the championship. Great drive.
We go back and check Anthony Koenig, and Paulo Martins will hold on for second with Anthony Koenig crossing the line in third.
Just got there in the end after a great race between those two. That was pretty exciting to watch.
Christian Arwood has come across in fourth. Pretty sort of lonely race for him.
Yeah, happy to stay out of trouble. And Fabio Gonzalez leading GT2 class, cross the line and take the win in GT2 class. Great drive for him. Josh Muggleton will get second in GT2 class. A little bit disappointing for him. He made a few mistakes tonight, but he'll learn from that and be back next week.
We have a look at Tony Autridge.
Completing the final lap in the TTR Corvette. Driven a pretty good race for him. He was challenged by Thomas Nanza throughout the middle part of the race, I suppose, but that challenge kind of faded as the race went on. Certainly hasn't been easy for him though. Thomas Nanza still reeling him in. Just a few tenths a lap, but it won't be enough. Tony Autridge should be good for a win here. He's a little bit brave, chucking it down the inside the last corner, last lap though.
One corner to go. You don't want to get in a squabble with the lap car now.
Yeah, I was picking my words a little bit carefully there, make sure I didn't put the mockers on my teammate, but Tony Autridge will get there, take the win in Corvette GT1 class, round one of the championship. Thomas Nanza, second place, great drive for him. And Scully picked up third in that class, so nice lonely race for him. Good drive though.
No, Jason Scully's done a very good job. A podium in any race is good effort. We get the results for the prototypes up. We got Andre Martins absolutely dominated the field. 11 seconds back was Paulo Martins in second with that battle with Anthony Koenig. Christian Arwood in fourth. Paul Agnew fifth. Gavin Barber in sixth. Massimo Artiglia in seventh. Toglu Nestros in eighth. Dean O'Brien with that unfortunate incident at the start with Reece Gardner rounded out the ninth and 10th for the prototype class.
Yep. GT1 class, TTR's Tony Ortridge took the win over Thomas Nanza. Jason Scully was third. Bruce DeCavallo was fourth. Tim Foltz fifth. Charles Niggs sixth. Desmond Hallam seventh. And Wayne C. Burke in eighth, rounding out the GT1 field.
In the GT2 cars, Fabio Gonzalez comes away with a win after Josh Muggleton made that unfortunate mistake at the hairpin, so he come in second spot. Andrew Wren with a good race to come in third. Randolph fourth. Nathan Britton fifth. Dave Geimer in sixth. And Matt Emanuel in seventh. So that's the first round of the Proto-GT Challenge. Hope all you's enjoyed it. We got the V8s on tomorrow night. Madison, you going to try and get back your title in the V8, mate?
Oh, for sure. Can't say I wouldn't be trying to get it back, but yeah, missing the trophy from the cabinet after the last one, so hopefully I can make a good start tomorrow night in the championship. I mean, we haven't been to Okayama for a few seasons now, and so it's a bit of a level playing field. But yeah, should be a great race. Tune in tomorrow night.
Yeah, I did some laps there, and it's very slippery. It'll be interesting race to see how guys manage their tyres, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Japanese tracks, we've found the surfaces for some reason are quite slippery. Maybe they enjoy drifting too much or something. I'm not quite sure, but it's a it's a real test of patience, Okayama. You just got to be so light on the throttle pedal and so controlled. So I think tomorrow night actually could be a fuel saving race. A few people have been telling me. So yeah, patience test tomorrow night for Monday night V8s for sure.
Well, we might wrap it up here. We got that's the first round done and dusted of the Prototype GT Challenge, brought to you by TrakRacer and Thrustmaster. I'd like to thank you, Mad, for stepping in, mate. We'll have you in here anytime. You do well.
Thanks, Brooksy. Not sure about that, but happy to jump in the box. It was not a bad race for me to commentate. So yeah, it's been a good series so far. Round one. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it, and hopefully the racing, stays the same or even improves throughout the season.
Yeah, I'm sure it will probably improve a bit. Guys will get more used to the cars. We've seen it in other series, so hopefully it all tighten up a little bit and some more battles on track. But tonight there was definitely plenty of action to be seen. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of this season. Big shout out, thanks to Seb doing the directing tonight. Done an awesome job again, mate. And yeah, until next time, we'll leave it there.